Welcome back to another bench press mistakes video, and today we're going to go over the mistake of grip width. What do I mean by grip width? So I see a lot of different lifters and they're gripping all over the bar. A lot of them are really narrow, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, and grip width is going to be a little bit different for everybody, but let me explain that a little bit more. With a really narrow grip width, you're going to have a longer range of motion. So if you have hands really narrow, you're going to have to touch down lower on the chest, maybe even upper belly if you're that narrow, and you're going to have to travel further, and that's ultimately going to lead to more difficult pressing. With that more narrow grip, you're also going to have to use more triceps in the movement versus utilizing your large pecs when moving the barbell. On the flip side, you have some people who grip really wide, and that wide grip is going to be great for reducing range of motion and getting a lot out of your pecs, but sometimes that wide grip causes a lot of excessive elbow flare. So sometimes the answer is somewhere in between. My big encouragement is you're going somewhere that is pain-free, is also efficient, and you feel powerful. Ultimately, you should go where you feel most powerful. So in a bench press, over time, I got more and more comfortable going wider on my bench press to the point where my pointer fingers were all the way out at the rings, but that did cause me to experience a couple of pec strains because I am a little bit more flared with my elbows. So now I moved my hands back in just a tad because I just don't want to deal with injury or pec strains. So I moved back into my middle or ring finger. I will get a little bit more tricep action out of that, but I feel most powerful there, and that is going to be where I'm also the safest, so I don't have to deal with strains as frequently, if ever yet, in regards to that bench press either. So hopefully you understand I'm not necessarily saying there's a right and a wrong answer. I just try to avoid these super extremes of very wide and very narrow. Sometimes in the middle, you are going to be able to reduce that range of motion, have a safe shoulder, and be most powerful. So again, somewhere in between, and again, play with your grip width. That could be pinky finger on the rings, it could be a little bit more narrow with an outstretched thumb, but ultimately that is up to you as far as where you feel most powerful. The benefit of wider is that decreased range of motion and using a little bit more pec. A benefit of being a bit more narrow is some people feel more powerful there, and you have a little bit safer position for your shoulder. So no right or wrong answer, play with both and go where you feel most powerful and you're safest. The last thing that I would note in this video is for female lifters specifically. When we're talking about decreased range of motion and you have a busty female, it does make sense to sometimes bring the barbell to the top of the chest. This reduces your range of motion, which again gives you the ability to press more weight in some circumstances. So you could adjust your grip to accommodate for reaching that point on a bench press as the tallest portion of the chest. If that doesn't feel powerful for you, you could adjust it to where you're coming down to, again, that xiphoid process, and that's right at the bottom of your ribs. Those are all just considerations. I say it every time, there's no right or wrong answer. They're just different things for you to try in your journey of lifting weights. And ultimately, I just want to guide you to safer lifting that leads to better longevity, which keeps you in the gym, which keeps you healthier, and it keeps you strong. Subscribe to the page and like the video. We will talk to you soon. Make sure you let us know what you want to see next, and stay tuned.